Welcome to Athlete Spotlight with Coach Mattair, where we dive deep into the lives of high school sports stars, uncovering their secrets to success, both on and off the field, exploring their training methods, mental fortitude, and dreams for the future. Today's episode is sponsored by Youth Sports Performance. YSP is dedicated to promoting sportsmanship, building self-esteem, and fostering leadership to youth through education, mentorship, and sports training. Today, we are joined by a 2024 Lambert High School graduate. She was the softball team's MVP each year during her high school career. She was selected to first team All-State 3 times, Region Pitcher of the Year 3 times, and twice named Forsyth County's Pitcher of the Year. Her career records are off the charts, y'all. Her average ERA is 1.51. She had 807 strikeouts, 30 shutouts, and 2 perfect games in 99 appearances. She started 77 games and completed 67 of them for a combined 520 innings. She leaves Lambert High School with a total of 62 wins and is currently tied for the school record for home runs at 29. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you Hannah Cole. What's up, big dog?
Nothing much.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. You cool with that intro?
Yes, sir.
Those your stats. 4 years, Lambert High School softball.
Yep.
When you hear these numbers, what does that do for you?
I mean, I got asked this in an interview for the news one time, and they asked me, like, did you ever think any of this was possible? And I was like, I never thought of any numbers for anything. I was like, I just want to win high school softball games. I never thought of any records, of anything like that. So, I mean, to me, it, like, makes me really happy. I guess I kind of surprised myself and amazed myself with what I was capable to do in 4 years. So,
well, you did a lot.
yeah.
So softball, your primary sport in high school. Mm. What does softball mean? What does it mean to you?
Softball is like everything to me. I started playing when I was 4. And I mean, that was like, it's been my life ever since. It's given me so many opportunities to do so many amazing things. I've traveled all over the place. The friends that I've made, the memories that I've made, and then even just being out on the field, it's just like my happy place. So it means everything to me. Everything.
Yeah. All right. So you said since 4 years old? Mm-hmm. The first time you picked up a bat, can you remember? What's your first memory of softball?
Ooh. My little purple cotton t-shirt uniform with my black shorts that came up to about here. And I remember all the gear was too big for me. And my team was the Unicorns.
Unicorn.
Yep.
Wow. When you started playing, was that the sport you chose, or did your parents like encourage you to try it out?
So I played a bunch of different sports, or tried. I wouldn't say played. I tried a bunch of different sports when I was little. Tried soccer, didn't work out. I did like dance and gymnastics for a while actually when I was younger. Wasn't my thing. So then tried softball. I guess I kind of tried them all at the same time when I was around 4.
Got it.
And then softball is just the one that I guess I liked the best, and that's what I stuck with. So
since 4 years old. Mm-hmm. So middle school, at any point did you ever venture back out and try another sport, like along with continuing with softball?
So when I was in elementary school, I tried basketball, and I didn't really like it then. Looking back now, I do wish I would have played in middle school. Just
really?
Yeah. I mean, all my friends played, and I think it would have been fun to do in middle school. And then last year, I played on the flag football team for Lambert, and that was so fun because I had people telling me, like, you need to play multiple sports, you need to broaden your whatever, but I was like, nah, I just like softball. So I did try flag football this year, and that was one of the best things I did all year. It was, I mean, I made so many friends. It was so fun.
Wow. And flag football is a growing sport. Mm-hmm. It's a big deal. So you played basketball, elementary school. Most recently, you played flag football. Mm-hmm. What position in flag football?
I started out as quarterback, and then I actually ended up at defensive end.
Defensive end?
Yeah.
Oh, pretty aggressive, eh? Quarterback, flag football, pitcher, softball. Similarities?
Yeah, I think there's similarities and like a lot of differences. I mean, obviously I pitch underhand. Flag football is overhand. The plays for flag football was pretty tricky to remember and kind of get down. But yeah, honestly, I don't know if I would say there's too many similarities. I feel like it was pretty different.
Really?
Yeah, I know maybe it was because I was just new at the sport, but I felt way more like nervous, I guess, as quarterback. And when I'm on the mound, I feel pretty confident and dominant, I guess. So.
Right. Speaking of confident, dominant on the mound, obviously when you're playing sports, the longer you play a sport, it's almost like it becomes a part of you. Mm-hmm. It's like y'all are intertwined, part of your DNA. If you had to say one or two things you learned about yourself through the sport of softball, what would you say?
I think I'm the hardest on myself. Like, I am very self-critical. I don't like compliments. Like, I'm just very hard on myself. And so I think throughout the years I've had to learn, and I'm still trying to learn, how to kind of bring that back down and realize, okay, I have done a lot of things. I can do a lot of things. I will do a lot of things. And just try and have not more confidence, because I'm pretty confident, but just try and be more positive, I guess, about myself.
So you being critical on yourself, any idea where that came from? Or when did that start?
I feel like I was always pretty critical on myself, but I think it really kind of amped up when I started going through recruiting. And I had a lot of college coaches telling me that I wasn't throwing hard enough to play at the college level. And I think that kind of set me back a little bit and made me be more hard on myself, but also push myself to get better. So I think that kind of is where it started getting kind of, when I started getting more critical.
So those comments from those coaches, would you say it fueled your fire, or did it dim your light?
At first, it did dim my light. I mean, I didn't know what to expect through recruiting. I didn't know what was going to happen. So when I hear these college coaches that I've been like dreaming about playing for tell me, like, you don't throw hard enough, like, we need to see you throwing harder. At first I was kind of like, well, dang, like, what now? But then I realized, okay, like, let me just work harder. Let's get through this. And it did definitely light a fire under me after that. So.
High school coach, travel ball coach. Have you had coaches that were like very critical of your play, like very demanding? What type of coaches have you had in the majority of the type coach you've had?
So I've been really lucky with my coaches, to be honest. I've only played for two travel organizations, and I had one coach for 4 years on Vipers, and they, I never really had anyone that was like critical of me. So maybe that's why I was more critical of myself, because my coaches weren't as critical. But yeah, I got really lucky with my coaches. I feel like they pushed me to be better, but at the same time believed in me and had confidence in me. So.
Got it. Criticism. Some people say, you critical of yourself, our coaches being critical, and some people just call it criticism. Or some people just call it coaching. So how do you handle coaching? Like, just say when you're not performing your best and your coach is coaching you. You understand where I'm going with this. So how do you handle it as a freshman, sophomore? Did it change as you got older, or have you pretty much handled it the same throughout?
I would say freshman, sophomore year, I would get a little nervous, because I guess I was like the younger one, so I wasn't scared, but I was like, oh no. And then definitely once I got older, it kind of just, I took it like, all right, I need to work harder. I never took it to heart, really. It, like you said, lit a fire under me, like, all right, let's get better next time.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. And you're on the mound. You're a pitcher. I think it's safe to say there's a certain mindset that comes with being a pitcher, because you've played you played various positions in softball. Explain the mindset of a high-level high school pitcher.
It's a lot. I'll be honest. It's like my mindset, honestly, going into the games was not to like overpower people. It wasn't to, I just went out there every time and I was like, I'm going to be better than this batter. I want my pitches to be better than this batter. And I would just take it one batter at a time. I would really try not to, think ahead or anything. One batter at a time, one pitch at a time. I think that really helped me. And then also just, like I said earlier, trying to have as much confidence as I could and trusting myself and trusting my pitches. So, yeah.
That confidence, did it come from your preparation?
I would say so.
So let's talk like practice regimen. Not sure if it's a difference with travel versus school, but let's give us an idea. Like, what's a practice regimen for you?
So my travel team actually doesn't play in the spring, so that means a lot of it is put on me. I need to go practice. I need to do stuff. So I go to pitching lessons once a week. I'm working out in here. I was working out in here, and I was also working out with my trainers twice a week. And then pretty much every other day that I could, I'm pitching with my dad in the cages, hitting with my dad in the cages. My dad couldn't catch me. I would find another catcher, one of my friends, maybe from another school, anybody that could come help me practice. High school practices, we're on the field every day. High school is a little bit different for me because I was pitching so many games. I couldn't necessarily pitch at practice every day. So that was a little bit different. But, yeah, I mean, I was pitching 4 times a week at least.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And out of those 4 times a week, how many of them would you say were mandated by the coach? Meaning, like, this is our practice time, so yes, you're going to.
He never mandated it. I was usually the one that said, hey, I need to go throw a bullpen, please.
Yes.
I mean, we would do live batting sometimes, but, yeah, it was always me saying I need to go throw a bullpen.
So you're doing a lot of pitching on your own, like I said, with dad, or finding a friend to catch for you. What's behind that? What was behind all the extra reps that you were putting in?
I mean, I didn't know I wanted to play in college until I was like probably 14 or 15, honestly. So maybe 14. Once I started thinking about it and watching more college softball, I was like, oh, like I want to do this. Like, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I started watching more college softball, and I think watching those players kind of like inspired me to, I want to be out there. I want to do what they're doing. And then also once I started hearing coaches saying, wasn't throwing hard enough, I was like, well, I got to put more work in now. So I think like back to the coaches kind of telling me that kind of flipped a switch for me of, all right, we got to get to work. Like it's go time.
Go time.
Yeah. Go time.
When you're preparing for competition, obviously you have your regular season. Your team, you're fortunate enough to make the postseason. Is your mindset any different?
Honestly, no. I don't think my mindset changes. I like to keep. I'm very like schedule person. I like to be organized. I like to have a schedule. So I think that kind of goes into my mindset of I like to have the same mindset going into every game, no matter what. If we're playing maybe a team that we should probably be beating or a team that we have no chance of beating, my mindset stays the same of I'm going to go after it, take it pitch by pitch, and go from there.
How did you develop that? Because that's a we call it like an even keel mentality, right? Not too high, not too low. You talk about you don't want a whole lot of compliments because you want to kind of stay in your zone. Where does that come from?
I honestly don't know.
Really?
I feel like when you asked like how my coaches were and stuff, since I never really had coaches like get on to me and I guess like have a, what'd you say? Like the kind of coach that.
Well, I mean, depending on you, I like to say they're coaching you.
Okay.
Right. When I say they're coaching you, meaning they just, from their view, they're telling you how it is, and they're giving you clear expectations. This is what I expect from you. If you're not performing up to, once again, in their view, their standard, they're coaching you, telling you it's not good enough.
So I think my coaches, good thing and bad thing, I think for me, because all of my coaches were very nice to me and I think gave me a lot of grace. And so I really had to be the one to get on to myself. So, yeah, I don't.
That's cool. But that's pretty mature of you to be able to find that even keel type mentality, because with sports there are so many highs and lows. You know, I mean, you're a pitcher. You could be having a great game. You could be pitching a no-hitter, and all of a sudden, somebody hits a home run off of you. That streak is gone. So if you're not in the right headspace, that could throw you all the way off. And now all of a sudden, the good stuff you were throwing, it's all gone. Or if you even kill, you can shake it off, and you can get right back in.
I have people ask me a lot, like, what happens when somebody hits a home run off you? Like, does your mind change? And I'm like, no. Like, it doesn't. Like, I don't get phased. Like, it just, I keep going. I go to the next batter. And our motto for Lambert softball this year was better than. So we emphasized being better than pretty much everything. But I took that into the game, into my mindset of, okay, somebody hits a home run off of me, the next pitch is going to be better than that pitch. You know, maybe my mindset needs to be a little bit better than it was on the last batter. Maybe my mechanics, just everything, try and be better than. So that's why I tried to kind of
better than. That's a cool one. Any idea who came up with that? Was that from the coaching staff?
So us 8 seniors last year, we sat down and did a book study on kind of like teamwork and stuff like that. And we kind of came up with the motto of being better than, because we wanted to set a tone at the beginning of the season for what was to come. So we came up with better than.
Wow.
Yeah.
Better than. I like that. I might have to borrow that one.
We got sweatshirts that says better than right
I like it. I like it. I like that. Because in sports and in life, you can always be better than what just happened.
We used it, I mean, obviously we used it for softball, but we all used it in life too. Like, I mean, your schoolwork, let's be better than the last day. Let's do our homework today. Let's do better than what we did on our last quiz. You know, we took that. I mean, we started it with softball, but we took it off the field too. So,
sports, life. You can't have one without the other, in my opinion. You talked about your mindset on the mound. If you're having a good game, and let's say somebody does hit a home run off of you, you're able to shake it off. You're able to go. You spoke earlier about not getting too ahead of yourself when you're on the mound, like basically staying in the moment, and forgetting, not thinking about the next inning. It's all about what's happening right now. You had quite a few shutouts in your high school career. That's the modest way of saying it. When you're on the mound, let's say you halfway in the game and you still, like, it's still going good for you. You still got the shutout going on. What's going on in your mind? What's happening from a mentality standpoint for you just to kind of just stay grounded? Because obviously you want to shut out you want to be able to go the full game. What's happening with you in your mind?
I think about it for sure.
Of course, you're human, right?
Yeah, we definitely don't talk about it. Don't say anything until the game's over.
Is that like a rule or something?
Yeah, like do not say anything until the game is over. But I don't know. I think obviously I want the shutout. But my mind goes more of whatever has to happen for us to win this game has to happen. So, I mean, if I give up a hit, like, it's okay. If we're still going to win, we're still going to win. And I don't like to think about, like, my stats. Like, I want to win the game for everybody. So, kind of think
we over me.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. You spoke about taking the better than quote or slogan and going beyond softball, took it to the classroom. So if you didn't do as well on the test, better than next time. As a high level athlete, how did you balance, or how do you balance academics and athletics?
So, I mean, freshman year was definitely tough because for high school, obviously we start literally on the first day of school. So I go to class on the first day of school. My freshman year, I didn't even go to my last 2 classes. On the first day, I had to go to a game. So it's definitely hard to juggle sometimes. I think just during season, you have to stay on top of it. Like, you're going to have some free time, but you have to understand that you have to get your schoolwork done during that time and maybe not go play pickleball with my friends like I like to do. I got to do my work first.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, just knowing I have to get it done, it's something I have to do, so just do it.
So when you hear the word organization, do you feel like that applies to you? Being very organized,
Yes.
somewhat organized, very organized.
Pretty organized.
Pretty organized. You got your routine. You got your thing.
I like to have my planner and I write everything out, write all my games, when all my stuff's due.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that something you start doing on your own, or would your parents encourage that?
Actually, my mom does that. And growing up, she used to always have like a paper calendar. She wrote everything. I was like, Mom, just put it on your phone. Like, just do it on your phone. And then it honestly wasn't until this year where I realized, I was like, okay, I got to start writing this stuff down because I got too much going on. I would try to in years prior, but I would end up putting it in my phone. But this year is when I really started writing it down, and just helped me to be able to see everything at one time.
And you feel like it made a difference?
For sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Organization. We're talking between waking up in the morning. Obviously, nutrition has to play a part. You performed at a high level, both academically and athletically. And if you're an athlete, I mean, you're in school till 3, 4 o'clock. Now you have practice. We're talking about getting home late night. So let's go to the beginning of your day. Nutrition hacks. What did you do to stay on track? Let's talk breakfast first.
Okay.
What's your go-to breakfast? Let's say you playing a game on a Thursday, but let's say it's a Tuesday or Wednesday. What's your go-to breakfast?
So in the morning, I like to eat eggs. I like them. I would usually make myself a fried egg in the morning, maybe 2, try and get more protein. And then I like to find the little sausage links. And again, I try and find the ones with a lot of protein. Also in the morning, I depended on the day and how I was feeling, but I would like to drink a protein shake in the morning before I get started with everything. So yeah, I mean, I pretty much ate the same thing like every single day.
Really? Okay. Was game day any different, that breakfast?
No. I mean, maybe sometimes I would eat like one more egg or something, but I was pretty much eating the same stuff.
Wow. Routine oriented.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to lunch. Was it the same concept for you for lunch?
Pretty much.
Really?
I would usually eat a salad with chicken, like
That's your thing.
pretty much every day.
Wow.
And then I would try and eat like a little bit of carbs just to kind of balance it. But yeah, a salad with chicken was pretty much my lunch every single day.
Okay. Dinner, I know dinner gets a little tricky because it's a timing thing now.
Yeah.
How did dinner work out for you?
So a lot of times I tried to meal prep for a while, but it just didn't work out with like my time and stuff. So my mom a lot of times would make a lot of food at the beginning of the week, and that way when we got home super late, maybe we got home early, we could just eat off of that whenever. So one of our favorite things is salmon. She'll buy the fresh one, the frozen one, and we just make the salmon. I'll eat that with sweet potatoes and broccoli. We also eat a lot of grilled chicken. We have chicken all the time, like my salad with chicken. So salmon and chicken for sure. Me and my mom really love vegetables, so I'll eat like any vegetable.
Really?
So yeah, that's
Pretty simple.
She will make, sometimes she finds like the low calorie, I don't know, but like lasagnas and stuff like that with a lot of protein. Sometimes some like squashes and stuff that have, I don't know. We like to eat healthy. Me and my mom, at least. So I try and like keep that. It makes me feel a lot better when I'm trying to eat good and have a lot of protein in me. You know, it makes my day feel better. So.
Yep. And I was going to ask you anyway. Eating a certain way, knowing you have to perform, rather be at practice, and it's obvious you want to be at your best because you're critical on yourself a lot. How did that play into your performance? How do you think it played into your performance? Your regimen, your eating regimen.
I definitely, for me, a protein is a huge thing. Like I can tell immediately if I don't have enough protein in me, like I feel fatigued, I don't feel good. Yeah. And I immediately I'm like, I need something, somebody give me a granola bar or something. So yeah, I can pretty much feel it immediately. And then if I eat like fried food or like,
Can't do it.
it does not, like, I just feel gross and at least on game days, you know.
Yes.
And maybe the day before, but yeah.
So you've definitely very health conscious.
Yeah. Definitely during season, like sometimes, obviously in the summer, it's hard when we're traveling and stuff like that. But yeah.
What about hydration?
That's a hard thing for me. I struggle with hydration.
Really?
Yeah.
So you don't have a hack for that one?
No, it wasn't until this year that I really started trying to drink a lot more water, because with working out so much, I was getting so sore and I like couldn't get the soreness out. And I think we actually talked about this.
Conversation.
My legs were killing me no matter what I did. I just could not get it to go away.
Yep.
So then I started drinking a lot more water. During tournaments and stuff, I like the liquid IVs. I do the ones with no sugar, because the sugar ones kind of make me a little like sick to the stomach a little bit. So I like the liquid IVs. I feel like those help me. And then, yeah, just trying to drink a lot of water. But again, that's something I struggle with. So
you've gotten better, but it's something that you need to constantly improve on.
Yep.
Okay, so we talking nutrition, the food I'm intaking. We talking hydration. You can't leave out sleep, because all three work together. Mm-hmm. So where are we with the sleep? Do you feel good about your sleep habits?
I mean, pretty much. I mean, there's some nights where I, stay up too late when I probably shouldn't. But actually, one thing that helped me a lot get through my day was this year I would get out of school at, I think it was like 12. So I would go home, eat my lunch, and then sometimes I would take like a nap for like an hour.
Oh, yeah.
Before practice, and it just like...
Tell me why that is like the best sleep.
I don't know. It's so hard to get up. Like, yes. I'm like, I got to get my uniform on. I got to go to practice. You got to get out of bed.
It's hard.
That's like the best sleep right there. So
people call it power nap.
Yeah.
Like
but
power up.
If I sleep for too long, then it makes me feel tired for the rest of the day. So I can only sleep for a little bit. And then once I go to practice, I'm pretty much ready to go.
You're ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay. Leadership. Would you consider yourself a leader?
Yeah.
What type of leader? You can make up your own word. Because there are so many types of leaders, by the way.
I definitely am not one to get on to people. Like, I'll talk to you and let you know, like, if I think we need to maybe try something else, but I'm not a leader that's going to be like yelling at people or like telling people what to do. That's not me. I think I try and lead by example with my actions. So I guess that's...
If I had one of your teammates sitting here and I asked them first, hey, what kind of leader is HC? What do you think they would say? Does it depend on who I ask?
Yeah, don't ask my sister.
I know. I thought about that. Don't ask your sister.
Sorry, Avery. But yeah. I mean, honestly, I think they would say the same, that I lead by my actions. I try and be as positive as I can be, like on the field. When I'm in the circle, I feel like I don't know what the word for it is. I try and talk a lot, like try and get everyone talking, everyone communicating. Yeah, I mean, just leading by my actions.
Leading
I think.
By example.
Yeah.
You're critical on yourself, which means you're not going to allow yourself to give less than, because you're better than. You see how I spin that? So I get it, but it makes sense for you. You performed at a high level for 4 years. We're talking about your team's MVP for 4 years. That's actually pretty remarkable. Coming in as a freshman, and we gave the numbers earlier about the shutouts, the wins, tying the school record with the 29 home runs. Injuries. Did you have to fight through any injuries in these 4 years? Give us more on that.
So when I was in middle school, around 7th grade is when I started lifting weights and really kind of working out. And I started getting a lot of back issues. It was getting to the point where I couldn't breathe. It was when I was sitting down, I was in pain. When I was standing up, I was in pain. I mean, it was pretty bad, to be honest. And as a middle schooler, that's hard. You're in middle school, I don't know. So then, actually in 8th grade, in middle school they do like that scoliosis testing, like at the school. They're like, oh no, you're good. And I was like, all right. And then later I was like, you know what? My back's been hurting for a year now. And my mom had been telling me, she's like, your shoulders are really uneven. So we'd been kind of like thinking stuff, and I was like, you know what, maybe I might have scoliosis. So we go to the doctor for like my yearly checkup, and she does the test, and she was like, yeah, it looks kind of bad. And so I went and had an MRI, and they told me I had scoliosis. And
8th grade.
8th grade, yeah. So, I mean, before 7th grade, I had never had back issues because I wasn't working out, so I never noticed anything. And then 8th grade is when it got too bad, where I was like, all right, we got to do something. I remember my last middle school softball game, like the feeder team, I had to come off the field because I like couldn't breathe because the pain in my back was so bad. So, got the MRI, told me I had scoliosis, and I had to do PT for a little while. And that's kind of something I've been battling ever since.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So diagnosed with scoliosis, 8th grade. But it's safe to say it was, if you would have went to do an MRI earlier, you would have got. How did that challenge you when you got into high school? And obviously you want to perform at the highest level.
So, I mean, obviously with pitching, like I do a lot of rotational stuff. And with my spine being curved, that was really hard. So when I was a freshman, I started working out with my trainers, and I had like an initial eval, and they were testing my range of motion and stuff, and I literally could not like twist at all. So they're doing all these tests and stuff, and they're like, all right, something's not right here. So we started really working on my, I guess, mobility in my spine, and that helped a lot. It's gotten a lot better. But pitching, having that mobility for me to be able to separate my upper half from my lower half was really hard for me. Yeah. So doing the PT, trying to strengthen that in workouts and here was pretty tough. It was kind of mentally draining. Like, it was a lot. And I mean, it's your back, so it's like you do everything. Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah, so it was hard.
Yes.
But yeah, it did get a lot better. I would say sophomore year is when it started to get, like, I felt pretty much well. But there's times where it gets me and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, when is this ever going to go away? But that's just something I'm going to have for the rest of my life. So I have to keep battling with it for the next 4 too.
Yeah. Did it seem to affect you more during your training sessions or actually when you were on the mound in competition?
I would say both, but also when I get on the mound, I kind of don't think about it. I feel it, but
adrenaline.
Yeah, my adrenaline
it's
kicks
real.
in. Yeah,
it's real. We can do a lot of stuff once that adrenaline kicks in. And right quick, let's touch on training for a second. Yeah. You talked about you started training middle school, 7th grade. Mm-hmm. You talked about working with a trainer because they were running tests, and obviously you did the training here. Mm-hmm. How do you feel like your training? Obviously, we had to battle through the injuries, but when you talk about training and taking that to the field, how do you think your training impacted your performance?
I think my training, because we were talking about this earlier, I couldn't do a squat. Oh. And I mean, that's like the basic thing for weight training, and I was struggling with it so hard, but trying to push through that and get through that, and I guess pushing through the pain so much and really trying to work hard to get it right helped me on the field to want to push harder and be better. And I guess since I knew I was doing so much working out and I was training so hard, I was like, well, I want to take this to the field and be even better on the field. So.
Wow, that's good. And that's the whole purpose of training, right? We want to be we wanted to be able to translate. 4 years of Lambert, performed at a high level. Obviously, you have dreams and goals like every other high school athlete. So what's next for you?
So I'm going to play Division I softball at the University of Alabama at Birmingham.
Cool. Yep. And position?
Pitcher.
Pitcher. Mm-hmm. That's a good thing.
And I haven't decided if I'm going to hit yet. I don't know.
Oh, you don't know? Hold on, you leaving here with 29 home runs. Like, come on, you can't just give them half.
I know. It's this in college. Like, it's going to be a lot.
Okay.
I know it's going to be a lot. But if that's an opportunity I'm given, if they some coaches don't let their pitchers hit.
Okay.
So if that's an opportunity that I'm given, I will definitely look into it and try. But in college, that's a big thing because your pitchers will be over here throwing their bullpens while your hitters are over here hitting.
Got it.
So the time management of it all might be kind of tough, but I mean,
see what happens.
Yeah.
All right, so what about academically? What are you considering majoring in?
I don't really know. I mean, I've thought about things here and there. One thing that I'm kind of stuck on the most is physical therapy because I've had to do so much of it. And my physical therapists seemed to really enjoy it. Like, they had a lot of fun with their job. And I think helping athletes at a young age, like I was helped, would be pretty cool.
Cool. So you could possibly see yourself working as a physical therapist?
I've also thought about food nutrition stuff. I finished the food nutrition pathway here at Lambert.
You enjoyed it?
Mm-hmm, a lot. But yeah, don't really know yet. Just see where it takes me, I guess.
So it sounds like you want to help people, though.
Yeah.
Because food and nutrition, obviously, you learn the skills so you can help other people make better decisions as it comes to nutrition. And obviously, if you're a physical therapist, I mean, you help people like they help you. So anything you want to share before we close it out? We talked about your outstanding high school career. We learned about your mindset when it comes to preparation, performance, how critical you are on yourself. You stood up. You made a personal decision to hold yourself accountable. Obviously, we talked about nutrition. We talked about it all, but I want to make sure I don't leave anything out. Anything that you want to share that maybe we didn't touch on?
I would just say for any young athletes out there that if you have people telling you that maybe you're not good enough or anything of that sort, just keep working hard. It's all going to work out if you work hard. Your work ethic will get stronger from that, and it will take you places that you could have never imagined. I could have never imagined doing anything that I've done so far yet today. So wow. I'm just very blessed. So yeah. Yep.
All right. Well, you heard it. Hannah Cole, thank you for taking the time out to come by the spot, hang out with me a little bit, and
the room.
Come by the room and hang out. We've enjoyed having you here for these 4 years, and you definitely have left a mark, and you're welcome back anytime.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you, big dog. All good. Man, you killed that. Oh, man.